You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Where to go? I'm always dropping something. Always dropping something. Yes, it's one of those days. Today is affectionately known as Hump Day. It's Wednesday. And there was a story I talked about this morning on our sister station that kind of drove me crazy. Kind of made me think about the fact that once again, the city is trying to do something that doesn't make any sense. That once again, the city is trying to avoid paying for anything. And I don't understand it. So yesterday, there was a story that came out that talked about the Mitchell Park horticulture domes and the uncertainty around it. So there seems to be this thing in Milwaukee that nobody wants to pay for anything, but everybody wants everything to be at a certain caliber, and everybody wants everything to be great. They just don't want to have to be the ones to pay for it. Everybody wants something from everybody else. It's sort of like poverty, right? Or low income. I'm looking at a website today for somebody running for office, and all they talk about is all the low income people and how they're trying to help low income, help overcome. Well, we've been trying to help overcome this for 50 years. Clearly, you're doing a poor job, and it's time for someone new. But you're supposed to be the new person, and you're messing it up. So, the Mitchell Park domes, I got some suggestions. Number one, they said fully replacing the Mitchell Park domes could cost between $67 and $91 million. Milwaukee County Parks presented other options, including demolition, there's an option where all three domes, of course, torn down. They cost like $5 million and they're done. Other options include repairing the existing domes where they badly need improvements to the glass, which would cost between $21 and $29 million. Who are the knuckleheads that were on the county board of supervisors that let it get this bad anyway? Another option would be to replace one dome and build a conservatory or other buildings in place of the other two domes. Estimated cost runs around $53 million. But Tarantino, that's Jim Tarantino, the deputy parks director, said the large price tag for all options, but told the committee that something needs to be done following decades of deferred maintenance on the 60-year-old structures. So we're near the south side of Milwaukee, right across the 27th Street Viaduct. You got a park there. We're trying to revitalize the city. Get with the mayor. The mayor says it's a park, I'm sure, and the park says, I don't know what the mayor says. I'm assuming people in city government say it's a park, so it's not their purview. And we got to be nice to the supervisors. And the supervisors don't want to spend the money. Have you heard of one? Bonds. Put it, right? Put it in that little place, in a little box. During that time, we vote for everybody else and make it a referendum to issue bonds. and issue bonds. And I know people are going to freak out when I say this. Pay the $91 million and rebuild it the right way. Get a consortium in place with all of the universities in southeastern Wisconsin. Madison, Parkside, Carroll, Concordia, UWM, Carroll. Did I miss anybody? Marquette, all of them. It's horticulture. Plants. We've already got the Water Institute. Get my drift? Private business, not private donations, but private business with space in the domes, in the surrounding buildings, build up the restaurants, build up the neighborhood, build up the apartments. But if I said I was putting it on 27th on the far south side, you would have no problem. Franklin would have no problem. Tulsa wouldn't have any problems. But when it comes to Milwaukee, oh, that's going to cost too much money. You just got how much money from the federal government for COVID and all these other trash things that we got, and you don't do anything with it? Build up something that people can bring families to. Or is it that it's in a Hispanic neighborhood? I don't know. The city and the county need to come together, issue bonds, and get that thing paid for. Because later in my top 5 out of 5, I'll talk about the Republicans who are trying to cut taxes so people would have more money, and the governor's playing politics. But then again, so are the Republicans. Meanwhile, who ends up still paying more? We do. The reality, this is a quote by Tarantino, is that because of the way we were maintaining it, this is the Mitchell Park Horticulture Domes, not providing capital investments, time and moisture is not on our side. The decay continues to occur, and every day we get closer to when that facility closes itself. The estimates were met with sticker shock for several supervisors on the committee, and during the meeting, discussions were held. This is from SpectrumNews1.com. My apologies for not saying that before. During the meeting, discussions were had regarding private fundraising campaigns. Why? 8th District Supervisor Tom Shea told Spectrum News he was concerned that the county would struggle to foot the bill for any option presented. How about bonds? Imagine that. Can the county issue bonds? Maybe in cahoots with the city? We'll have to see. There might be some fiscal things we have to look into. They said the only feasible option I saw for the dorms was the most expensive one, replacing the 3, and barring a donation from some extremely well-to-do philanthropist, I don't possibly see how we can move forward with it. Because you have a lack of vision. You have a lack of purpose. There are multiple things this city should be known for. One of them is sitting over there on 4th Street. The other one is sitting over there off of 175, called the baseball field. One of them could be the Calatrava, the art museum, but definitely the domes. That is something that's unique. You don't need a community input meeting at the domes to figure out what the heck to do with it. Be a leader, step up, figure out a way to fund it, and move forward. But for some reason, you just don't listen. You never listen anyway. You didn't listen about the 2%. You let the mayor skip around and skip taxpayers and let the city leadership vote, and now we have a 2%. Nothing in place or planned on how to help people figure out that 2%. It's just there. And now you want to build domes. And I say that's $1 billion win in about 10 years. You're talking all of the buildings, all of the restaurants, all of the places that could be built up around there, simply because it's right on the other side of the viaduct. You can redesign the entire park out front. And if you've never been to the domes, well, at the time, they were gorgeous. Why doesn't any leadership here in the city or the county have forethought? There's never a plan. They always seem to deal with things when it gets at the end. They bump things down the road. They're elected officials. And when they mess up, well, it's on somebody else. That's why we need term limits. That's why we need to tell you anything that happens during this time, we get to blame you. But we don't do that. We're nice. Give everybody a break. For instance, the other day I had a conversation with a person in Milwaukee, very prominent. And I said, hey, why isn't the mayor doing anything? They replied, well, he only has 2 years. I'm like, aren't those the 2 years that you would really rock this to make it matter because you only have 2 years? Wouldn't you take those 2 years and hit a home run and make people go, we got to give him 4 more years? You're saying he only got 2 years, give him a break, and then put him back in for twice as long, and he didn't do anything in the 2 he was here. What would you expect without a plan? You have no plan. You have no forethought. You have no vision. We should just wait. Well, that's the same thing all the older politicians did. We don't have anything now, and in 4 years, we won't have anything then. So when it comes to city leadership, when it comes to county leadership, when it comes to building the domes, you need to pay. And I think you also, one of the most important things you need to do is wake up.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Coming with straight truth.
Because they're thriving off of the lack of knowledge. But it's a new day. And a lot of y'all don't understand that a lot of things that we understand to be true was socially engineered. Somebody
Why's the
sat
red
back in the
spacer
room.
always in before you play? Because it seems to take,
You know what I mean?
cause
And they had a lot of money.
a lag.
All I'm saying is they want us to stay boxed.
Catch the Tori Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Hey, Truth fans, it's Dee Kemp, Vice President of Programs for Axe Housing. I am so excited to give you some information about how we can help you and your family reach the dream of owning your own home. At Axe Housing, we know you may be struggling to buy your own home due to financial strain, or maybe you don't even know how to get started on the path to homeownership. This is where Axe Housing can help. We will provide you with your own home buying coaching team who will help you with the entire home buying process from start to finish. That includes the home search, the loan process, and the big closing day on your dream home. Why rent when you can own? Here at Axe Housing, we help prepare families for successful home ownership. Stop paying rent and start building wealth. Reach out to our Axe Housing team today because we believe in you and we know home ownership can be within your reach. Visit us today at axhousing.org to get started. That's ACTShousing.org.
Truth Nation, join the Center for Leadership of African Women's Wellness on Wednesday, September 30th at the St. Francis Parish from 2 until 5 p.m. for their prestigious Wine, Women, and Wings Red Carpet Affair. The event will honor 10 outstanding women who have demonstrated exceptional leadership, commitment, and resilience, which profoundly impacts our community. The Red Carpet Affair will include food, drinks, jazz music, and a raffle. Tickets are $150 per person. Get yours today by visiting claw.org. That is CLAWW.org.
Making healthier food choices doesn't have to be hard or expensive. You can ensure your children and family get the nutrition they need by making every meal a My Plate meal. Choose healthy items like low sodium vegetables, fruits canned in 100% juice, whole grains, lean proteins, and low-fat dairy. Also, buy in-season produce from your local farmers market, using food share at your local grocery store, or use of the mobile market are all easy ways to save money on food. Make every meal a My Plate meal to make you and your family healthier. Learn more about healthy eating and how you can support nutritious foods for families at www.hungertaskforce.org.